What's up, Oshean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotic and the commissioner of the Ocean League. Guys, it is time. It is time. We are finally here. The finals of the Ocean League Season 3. We have 4 coaches. Shiny, Just Lucas, Casper, Pez. Division 1, Division 2. We got 2 great games. 2 amazing finals battles that, honestly, I have been holding back, trying to figure out who has won, but not trying to spoil myself. Just honestly, I want to find out for a long time. The games ended over a week ago, and I still don't know the results. I have not announced who's won in the server. I have no clue. So I'm super excited to see who's gonna win these games. And I do have a couple ideas of who's gonna win. I do like a lot of the teams here. Personally, I think I mentioned before, but Lucas, his team that he has, the team on the right here, was the team that I predicted was going to win the title back during the draft analysis. His team was by far the most scariest to me, and it's no surprise to me that he's actually here in the finals now. Shiny's team still very scary, super threatening. We'll see how it handles after. And then you got the second team here, the second matchup. I definitely think both teams here with Pez and Casper are very scary. Pez's team has done wonders for him. Casper, I don't think we've featured much on the channel, maybe only once if I'm not mistaken, but regardless, definitely some amazing coaches. So guys, if you want to see how these coaches came to be, how they got from point A, from week 1 all the way to the finals, then make sure to join the server, check us out, and we should be dropping some applications for season 4 hopefully within the next month or 2. Okay, but other than that, guys, let's try and jump into it. But again, just before we do, quick reminder, like the video, guys, subscribe to the channel. All right, we've been stuck around 1140-ish subscribers for the past month and a half. So if you guys haven't already, if you enjoy the content, subscribe to the channel. It means a lot and helps the channel grow, so would definitely appreciate that. Other thing, big thing to note, also, make sure to, what was the word I was looking for? Make sure to check me out on Twitch. Liv and I, OliviaSama, and are streaming our Emerald Soul Link, which should be ending tomorrow. We have a bonkers team. We're about to face off against Wallace and then the Elite Four, so make sure to check us out. Tomorrow will be at around 9 p.m. Eastern. So, let's do it. It's time to throw down. Let's do it. All right. Starting off, looking at Shiny's team. Shiny's team is very scary. You guys see it. I'm not going to go over exactly what he has, but it's still very scary nonetheless. Looking at Lucas's team. Lucas has a 1 dark type, and that dark type is neutral to Psychic, or to Ghost, because it's a Psychic type. So I think that Spectrier can just go ham. I would not be surprised if Spectrier just went in. At the same time, I wouldn't be surprised to see something like a specialty defensive Cradilly or Copper or Toxapex to handle that Spectrier. So it's something. Zygarde, very scary nonetheless. Of course, it does deal with Gliscor kind of weirdly, not that well. Like Core Enforcer Zygarde is a thing, and I definitely could see that coming as a way to handle it. But there's just so much pressure that Lucas's team has. Shiny can definitely rock out with a TAPU LELE to really break things, which it will do well, because it shouldn't drop to any Deyancy attack, especially if it's running like an Assault Vest set, which I wouldn't be surprised to see that. And if he gets up his webs with the Dottler, for example, to weaken the Dracovish, make it slower than Lele, even if it is Scarfed, then Lele just has a field day with absolutely everything. Would not be surprised to see Lele put in tons of work and maybe even get Thumbnail. Infernape, very good here. Vacuum Wave is nice to outspeed, or to get priority damage off on the Deyancy, which would outspeed it, especially if you got to put Nasty Plots. Its coverage is pretty decent here too. Fire is really good in this matchup, I think, even with the Toxapex, because it does get access to Earthquake. It does get access to, I believe, I guess Thunder Punch as well with Iron Fist, so that's another thing. Essentially, there's ways to hit the Toxapex once it's weakened. Magnezone, super cool if he manages to catch the Gliscor. 1 Gliscor catch and he goes for a Flash Cannon. It's an amazing position. I really don't see much in terms of a threat to the Magnezone outside of Deyancy, and at the end of the day, Magnezone can just either Magnet Rise or be Shaka or whatever the case is. And there is still a pretty decent switch into the Deyancy in the Suicune. I think Suicune is a pretty solid check. Fortress usually would be, because Hidden Power is gone, but Deyancy now gets Mystical Fire, so definitely not the best switch in anymore. Yeah, I think Suicune can be very scary here too. A sub-toxic set is very cool. Obviously, there's a Toxapex, but Toxapex can be worn down with like Whirlpool and stuff, so that's definitely a possibility as well. Yeah, look, the more I look at it, Shiny's like, he's got a chance, but I really feel that Lucas's team is just so strong, because everywhere you look, Mega Deyancy, Gliscor, one of the best Pokemon of the format, Hoopa U, just super, it used to be overrated, now it's super underrated. Toxapex, ridiculously fat. I hate the Pokemon, but it could put in a lot of work. Dracovish, Glastrier, Zapdos, 3 insanely powerful physical wall breakers that can really nuke things for that Hoopa. I just think there's too much physical offense for Shiny to handle. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. It's going to be crazy to see. I think Lucas did a phenomenal job drafting his team to be able to say, you know what, I have a group of 10 Pokemon, in reality 9 because Carkol's a Carkol, that can just come at any points in a season and just dominate. Toxapex, Cradily, they can be offensive or defense, or physically offensive or defensive or especially defensive, and I guess Gliscor as well, and literally everything else is just power. Yeah. Shiny, if he wants to win this game, I think if he gets set up with the Zygarde, once the Gliscor is weakened, he's got a shot. He's got a real good shot. So that's what I think the outcome is going to be there. I'll say that Shiny brings Zygarde, Lele, Magnezone. I kind of like Superior here because it outspeeds everything, and if he's not Scarf Zapdos, it's pretty good. So Superior, Spectrier, that's 5, I believe, and then I'm thinking either Infernape or Suicune, and I'll say Infernape for the time being as a way to outspeed things and hit them pretty hard with fire moves and fighting moves. For Lucas, I'll say Mega Diancie, I'll say Hoopa-U, I'll say Dracovish and Zapdos, that's 4, I'll say Gliscor, that's 5, and then I'll say Toxapex, that is going to be 6. And yeah, that's going to be it. Let's go ahead and jump into the battle, and boom, there we go. Okay, so we got Shiny on the top, we got Lucas on the bottom. Lucas ends up bringing no Galarian Zapdos. Very interesting. So I would not be surprised to see the Superior just become an absolute monster this game because it outspeeds everything. If things get weakened down, he's got access to 1 resist to grass, and that's going to be the Copperajah, and Copperajah has no recovery. I'm surprised to see this Skuntank a little bit, but hey, it is what it is. There's no Lele, which that surprises me. I'm very, very shocked to see no Lele, but hey, what are you going to do? Spectrier is here, though. The one answer to Spectrier being the one, I mean, no, let's try this again. There's no answer to Spectrier on this roster. I think the only chance he has is that Cradily now, and I think the Copperajah if it's Assault Vest. Those are the only options, and then those can be chipped. Those can be worn down pretty well. But yeah, guys, let's see. In terms of leads, I think we can see a lead of... What do I see a lead of? I'll say Magnezone on Shiny's part, and I think we'll see something like a lead Copperajah or a lead Diancie on Lucas's part. So let's go ahead. Let's jump into it. Let's put it on slow. We see a Gliscor lead against a Magnezone lead, so I got 50% right. And Shiny's got to switch out as he just doesn't and gets O-code right off the bat. Oh my god, that is big. And there's the Toxicor too. That, guys, might just seal the game. That does fast. But we're going to see a Toxic off on the Suicune, getting that thing on a timer as it goes for a Toxic already on the Gliscor, which does not matter. Making the prediction, the over prediction into the Cradily here. We're going to see a Protect, and as a Toxic, Protect, Earthquake, probably going to be Roost here on the Gliscor. And Gliscor just might prove why it's so damn bulky, being able to Toxic stall literally everything. We're going to see Cradily come out on the Ice Beam here, going to take 29%, which is pretty solid damage there. Of course, it does have Recover to get that health back. But this game's already looking pretty much over. I'm not gonna lie. So we're gonna see a Toxic come out here. Yeah, a Toxic, and Luke is playing around really well so far. Definitely on his A game, and Shiny's about to lose his Suicune too. So we're gonna see a rest though, which is a good way to keep that thing healthy. Very nice, very nice. And we're gonna see this go for Power Whip, doing over half to it as it's Rocky Helmet. So now he can't even just go for another rest. He can't just get back recovery with leftovers. He has to go into his Zygarde as his check, but in comes the Dracovish. Not too worried about that if your Zygarde outspeeds, Outrage, it takes it, which is nice, and we're going to see it go for Fish's Rend. That is banded. That has to be banded, and we're going to see another Outrage come out which makes no sense to me. That makes no sense. I'm sorry, but if you're Lucas, you go into Diancie for free here, and unless you're trying to go for like a game with a Rock Polish right now, is that it? There's a Rock Polish, so I guess that's why he tries to do it, but you know this thing is likely Scarfed. If you were Scarfed, then you know that thing is Scarfed. So, I don't know, but we're going to see a Moonblast come out. It's not Mega Evolving yet, which is surprising. We're going to see it not Mega Evolve for a while. I guess it wants to get Clear Body for the time being, or have that bulk for the Superior, for the, what is it called? For the Spectrier, rather. But he goes into Superior to scare it out, I guess, as we're going to see him just stay in and go for the Moonblast. Over prediction there into the Zygarde. I guess he might have expected the Copperajah to come in to try and get an advantage, which didn't end up working, but in comes the Diancie Mega Evolving, and you're going to get that extra boost in power there, and we're going to see this thing go for a Leaf Storm, getting the Oko on the Diancie, so that's nice, but I think it's too little too late at this point. Just one Scarfer comes in and cleans up, and we see a Hoopa here. That's Scarfed. Unless this is a Scarfed Superior, you're messed up, but still, we're going to see a Dark Pulse come out, doing nothing to the Skuntank. Very, very close right now. We're going to see Copperajah come in, probably going to be taking a dark move, as we see just a superior double, which is nice, but doesn't really make a difference because this might be Assault Vest on the OliviaSama, as we see it got fully paralyzed. Are we going to see a sub Leech Seed here? Because that'd be very cool. We're going to see a double Glare. Glare, I guess you're expecting the... I don't know what you were expecting. I guess maybe you're expecting the Hoopa. Maybe he was Scarfed. Who knows? Regardless, Heavy Slam will get the KO, and we're going to see can Spectrier put the world on its shoulders. We see Hex. It doesn't look like it's doing too much there. We see a Heavy Slam that does so much damage, and again, we think that is Scarfed Hoopa, so I just think it's over. I think this is done. I think Lucas will be the champion at this point in time. The turn one was absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. There's like, if I'm shiny, you have to double, and like your play is to hope for a misplay on Lucas's end. Bank on a choke. That is the play. Doing 47% there with Iron Tail is not bad at all. We're going to see an Earthquake here. Doing half of what was left over is a Black Sludge. It is not Black Sludge, so it's just, yeah, Iron Tail comes out. Another Earthquake, I imagine, here via Recover. Yeah, Recover, which is fair. You want to make sure you stay healthy, not to give the Spectre a boost with Grimnay, because if it's speed boosting, well, if it's Scarfed and has the special attack boost, then it's going to be doing a lot of damage. So right now, if Skuntank can crit and keep this thing low, then he's in a great spot. As long as he can put it in range of Spectrier, then you're in a good position. But we're going to see a Recover come out once more. It's honestly, this is still, because of Iron Tail, this might actually be a game. We're going to see. We see another Iron Tail come out, getting another defense drop. This Iron Tail has just connected so many times. God damn. Wow. We're going to see an Earthquake come out. That's going to get the KO. We see a defense drop. This is at full. I don't think it's going to be enough. I don't think it's enough. I don't think Spectrier can KO from full. We're going to see Hex. Well, we see a Protect there. So it's not enough for sure. We see a Shadow Ball. I don't think Shadow Ball is going to get the job done. Unless it's Specs, and even then, probably won't KO. We're going to see 56%, and we're going to see an Earthquake here. And that is going to be it. And Lucas, just Lucas, is crowned the champion for Season 3 of Division 1. So congrats to Lucas for winning. Yeah, just congrats to Lucas. Really awesome game. Great season. But yeah, I think honestly, Lucas had a really good positioning early on. Getting the Earthquake off on the Magnezone was massive, because his only electric immunity was the Gliscor, and if he can just weaken that with Flash Can, he brings this thing in on the OliviaSama, on the Dracovish that's locked into something that's not Vicious Rend, on the Cradily even, that would ideally Magnezone would outspeed. You can always just do tons of damage. That's the thing. And I think Lucas's team though was built really well around trying to handle it offensively. I think having access to OliviaSama being super bulky on the special side, being able to do tons of damage with Heat Crash or even with Earthquake back is really solid. Diancie has Earth Power potentially. Hoopa, Drain Punch, Dark Moves, whatever. Obviously Earthquake on the Gliscor and the Cradily, and then Dracovish is being Dracovish is just insane. So yeah, I think it's a great way to end the season. Great finale. Okay. Yeah, that's really it. Shiny was put into a tough position. And it happens. But congrats to both these guys on making to the finals. They both, I believe, I think Shiny was in a season previously, so I think this is going to be his last game in the Ocean League. But Lucas, if he wants to join back again, he can, because this is only his first season. But yeah, that's going to be the first game. Let's move on to the next game, which is going to be, boom, there we go. So we have Casper against Pez in a game that we got another Lele here, and we'll see if Lele even comes. But looking at the matchup here, Lele is really good, because I mean, it's a TAPU Lele. If I'm, let's think about this. If I'm Pez, maybe an Assault Vest Victini is the way to go. It resists dual stab, and I think I've done that before in the past, where I've ran a Victini to check a Lele. The problem is with Aegislash and a Garchomp being around, and Garchomp doesn't have to Mega Evolve turn 1, so Garchomp can outspeed, and that's something to note. There's also a Salamence, which gets ground coverage, it gets dark coverage, it gets water coverage, so there's ways for it to deal with Victini, and that's scary. And at the same time, Swampert is one of the Swampert and Gligar are one of the best checks to Victini, because they have to run Energy Ball for the Swampert and Ice Moves for the Gligar, and that's it's a tough spot unless it runs Psychic for both, but both of them are very specially defensive, and with an Umbreon there too, makes things tough. So yes, he might have an answer to the Lele, but it's really getting weakened a lot by everything else, so we'll see if it even comes. Landorus, very scary, of course. There is a Tangela, there's a Gligar. They kind of handle that pretty well. I'm not too worried about Landorus from Casper. Urshifu Rapid Strike. It's good. It's really good. I would definitely expect a bulky Salamence to be coming. Something with, let's say, for example, Rocky Helmet to resist the dual stab of the Urshifu, get off Intimidate for the Ice Punch that might be coming out, or the Thunder Punch or whatever. Heliolisk does get Water Absorb, which is another thing, so it's so far it's looking really tough for Pez in the matchup here. Raikou could potentially do some things here if he gets a couple Calm Minds, but it might be tough, especially with the Lele being around, maybe even the Scarf Lele, Scale Shot, Garchomp, and Salamence. That's kind of crazy. I don't believe this is the team. Casper, I want to double check your team right now because like it's, you know what? No, I'm pretty sure I put everything right. I'm gonna double check though really quickly to make sure this is actually the right team, because if it's the wrong team, that would suck that I messed up the information. But let's just go ahead and find it. We have Ocean League. I'm gonna try and copy this so I don't put it in the same tab. We're gonna copy link. I'm gonna open a new tab. All right, so let's see. We have, I think it's SGS is his team name. It is, yeah. So it's not Salamence, it's Salazzle. That's why. There you go. Salazzle. Okay, we're good to go. Back on track. Not Double Dragon. So yeah, ignore what I said about the Urshifu being walled by Salamence because it doesn't matter anymore. Anyways, Salazzle is actually pretty good here outside of the Landorus, of course, because its dual stab hits the Klefki, hits literally everything else with poison for amazing damage outside of the Hoopa, but again, it's a Hoopa. It's a regular Hoopa at that, and there's a Shadow Sneaking Aegislash, which should just KO it, so that's a thing. Look, I think Casper definitely, even without the Salamence, is a really good matchup here. There's just not that much that I see Pez having an answer for. I think Porygon Z would have to go for like, it would be solid here, but there's an Aegislash. Makes things tough. There's an Umbreon. Makes things tough. Zarude would be pretty good here, but Tangela makes things tough. Salazzle outspeeding, Fire Blasting, makes things tough. Right now, guys, based on matchup, I'm leaning that Casper is going to win this game. I really am. What can Pez do, though? What can Pez do? I mean, Aromatisse with like a Trick Room could be pretty fun, because I'm pretty sure it gets Shadow Ball. That could be cool with like Nasty Plot Trick Room as a way to break things. Definitely a possibility. What else? What else? Turtonator with Shell Smash can put in some work. His team is pretty slow outside of the Salazzle and the Heliolisk. That's a thing. So yeah, why not? I wouldn't be surprised to see that. And it doesn't resist any of Lele's stabs, but it's pretty bulky that I can maybe take a hit, Shell Smash up, and then be able to outspeed and KO something. Possibilities. But yeah, in terms of what I think would be being brought to this matchup, I think I could definitely see, Lele. I see Aegislash, I see Swampert, I see Garchomp, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd say the first 3 Salazzle Swamperts. Part of me wants to say Heliolisk, but I think also Umbreon has its merits here too. Yeah, I think Umbreon has its merits here too, but this is tough because then Urshifu's in a pretty good position once Umbreon gets chipped down, once Swampert gets chipped down. So maybe not Salazzle, maybe Heliolisk instead. But again, Salazzle's so good offensively. I'll say Salazzle. I'll say, you know what? I'll say Lele, Garchomp, Aegislash, Salazzle, Tangela, and Swampert. That's what I'll say. All right? Okay, so that's what I say for Casper. And for Pez, I'm going to guess it's going to be Victini, Landorus, or Urshifu. I'll guess Porygon Z, Raikou, that's 5, and then I'll say Aromatisse, 6. All right, that's what we're gonna see. Let's move on. Let's go ahead and find the battle if I can. Okay, I have the battle now, and now you guys have the battle. Boom. So Hariyama comes, Hoopa comes. Interesting. Okay, let's do this. So what doesn't come? What doesn't come? What doesn't come is going to be, I don't see a Salazzle, which Salazzle had a really good offensive matchup. Instead, we do see basically exactly what I was saying before, except for Swampert, which didn't come. Hariyama came instead. And instead of Salazzle, we see Heliolisk. That's something that's pretty good. I think Hariyama could be decent here. I'm surprised to see, maybe it's a good special wall with its massive HP and its an Assault Vest potentially. That could be a thing. In terms of Pez, we don't see Urshifu, which, I mean, it's understandable considering there's a Heliolisk, there's a Tangela, which can be Rocky Helmet. I know it would rather be Eviolite, but it's a thing still. Umbreon is pretty bulky too, and there's Rough Skin Garchomp as a thing as well. No Raikou. Looking at this team here, Raikou is pretty good, especially if you can get a Scald Burn off on the Garchomp here, or a Sphere on the Heliolisk. Could be nice, could be nice. So yeah, I definitely think this is good. I do like the inclusion of Aromatisse. So we're going to see here. let's go ahead and jump into it. In terms of leads, I'm thinking we're going to see a lead of Victini, or actually we'll say a lead of Landorus, and we'll say a lead of Heliolisk. Those will be my predictions. Put this on slow, and boom, let's do it. Let's see, we got a lead of Porygon Z and a lead of Aegislash. So not what you want to see if you're the Porygon Z here. Because, yeah, we're going to see a King Shield, though. Interesting. Do we see a Nasty Claw off the bat? We just see a Shadow Ball. That's fine. Again, this thing could just go for a Secret Sword here. We're going to see him switch out to Heliolisk. Making prediction. Nope, no prediction made. Shadow Ball comes out and it's going to be doing nothing. We're going to see Hyper Voice here. We don't know if it's Scarfed yet. And we're going to see an Ice Beam come out, and that does almost enough. And it freezes. Ooh, it's Life Orb. Okay, so not great. And we see it is frozen still. So this is going to be bye-bye to Heliolisk because it's a Recover Porygon. Nice, nice, nice. We're going to see it frozen again. And we're going to see, I'm assuming, a KO here, right? We do see the KO. I'm very surprised not to see a Tri-Attack. If I, look, it makes no sense for him to, let's pause it here. He got bailed out. There was no reason not to go for Tri-Attack there. Yes, he goes into Aegislash, but he's immune. You're not taking Life Orb chip. Still, at the end of the day, Ice Beam is not doing anything back. Right? There was no reason to go for anything but Tri-Attack there. Tri-Attack would have KO'd, and the Heliolisk wouldn't have to have been frozen, but at the end of the day, it just basically protects him from the misplay. So, not the end of the world, I guess. Regardless, we're going to see a Tri-Attack come out on the Hariyama doing over half, and this should get the KO right now, right? As we're going to see a close combat that does get the KO on the Porygon Z. I guess he just didn't want to switch in on anything, which, fair enough, but losing Porygon Z is unfortunate because you could have really done a lot of work to something like the Tangela, like the Garchomp. We're going to see a Shadow Ball come out from the Hoopa, getting the KO on the Hariyama, and this Hoopa is looking mighty fine because there is no Ghost Resist right now. So let's see here, we see a Landorus coming in to weaken the Garchomp by one stage in attack, as we might see a Mega Evolution, as we do, and there's a missed Scale Shot. Unfortunate. Wow, luck is starting to play into a factor of this game right here, and we're going to see a double into the Aromatisse here. I'm expecting, I'm assuming the Scale Shot, but we're going to see a Moonblast come out on the Tangela, which that did a pretty solid chunk of damage there. I'm actually thinking that might be offensive, so let's see what happens here. We're going to see a knockoff, and that's going to be a Leftovers. Okay, Moonblast comes out again, another 40%. This thing is still out of range of the next Moonblast, which is nice if you're Casper and you have the Regenerator back. We see a switch into Zarude. Honestly, I'm surprised to see that, but I guess he might have been predicting the incoming Aegislash, which is definitely a possibility. So Tangela does check this thing pretty well, and it does have access to its a Violet still. So we're going to see here, does he go for Sludge Bomb? He does go for Sludge Bomb, yeah. Very nice. Breaking the sub is cool. That means Zarude can't set up, but Zarude still has access to Darkest Lariat, which is a thing. But in comes the Landorus. Landorus can get knockoff, and Landorus can knock off the Violet, which would suck. But we're going to see him double into the Aegislash now. Do we see a weakness policy here? That'd be kind of cool. Knockoff, do we see a weakness policy? It's an Akaberry. Okay, so this is unfortunate, especially if this thing is not Scarfed, because if it's not Scarfed, it can go for Earthquake, and we see there it is not Scarfed. Okay, more and more this game is looking like it's going to be Pezzes. Right, we're going to see a Shadow Sneak here. Yeah, Shadow Sneak doing 12%. Insane. We see a knockoff getting the KO on the Aegislash. And it's not looking good here. It's not looking good. What is the opening going to be? We see the Lele come in. Lele can just go for a free Moonblast. It outspeeds naturally. We're going to see Zarude come in. Zarude is not going to take this Moonblast. It's not. We're going to see a sub instead, though. Ooh, I don't know how I like that. I don't know how much I like that. Because Zarude can just outspeed here. We're going to see Darkest Lariat gets the KO. To me, there was no reason to not go for the Moonblast here unless you were expecting the Victini to come in. And even then, I don't know. Victini, you don't really have any switches to anymore, so it makes sense. But regardless, I guess there's a sack there going to Tangela, and we're going to see a missed Toxic, which does not matter because the Fire Move will just KO this thing as he doesn't go for it. Maybe he's mono, maybe he's Scarfed. Who knows? We're going to see Leech Seed come out on the Landorus, and if I'm Casper, do I go into Garchomp here? I think I do. Yeah, as he does go into Garchomp, which is nice, and we're going to see a U-turn come out. No Rocky Helmet, but it's fair enough. You're able to get some good chip off. But in comes the Aromatisse. You just gotta go for the Earthquake, man. You gotta weaken this thing as much as possible to put it in range of Lele. Your goal right now is to weaken things to the point where Lele can get KOs. But instead, we just see him double into the Lele and the special attack drop. That it might be game sealing because you probably weren't KOing the Aromatisse anyways. But just not having that, it really sucks. So we're gonna see a Moonblast come out. That was a crit too, and didn't KO this. That's nuts. We're gonna see it finally get the KO on the Landorus, but here it is. Again, Victini can come in, and Victini is so free here. Does he go into the Garchomp? I'm expecting the Fire Move. He doesn't. He stays with Lele. I'll be honest, it's not over. I think Garchomp can still win it with a Scale Shot. Garchomp gets a one Scale Shot here. It could be done. V-Create again. If this is Swords Dance Scale Shot. No, we just see an Earthquake. Okay. This Tangela, well, the weight of the world on his shoulder, because I think this is a Scarf Hoopa. In comes Aromatisse. We're going to see him double to Tangela. It's at full. We've already seen that Tangela can do some work against this, but we're going to see in comes the Hoopa. Well, Tangela doesn't have access to knockoff. Oh, it just O-code. It just O-code. This might be done. That double ends up being massive. That double is big. It's down to the wire here. Aromatisse versus Garchomp. Can a Mega Garchomp do 72%? Earthquake comes out, 46%. It's not enough. Will Aromatisse KO? Aromatisse does KO, and Pez is the champion for Division 2. All right. This was a great game, even with all the luck. And I see that actually, that was said in the chat right there. It was a great game, even with the luck. And it definitely was. The play, though, that kind of sealed it for Casper. Let's go right over. So here, if this doesn't really matter too much because it wasn't scarfed on the Hoopa, maybe he knew his specs based on damage. But him going for the Earthquake here, fine. Go for the Earthquake, get the damage off. That works, whatever. But him going into the let's do this again. I'm going too fast. Okay, him going into after KOing this, the Aromatisse play was good, and then him making the double. Pez making the double was massive because over here, if Casper says, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go for it and go for the Earthquake, and the Hoopa comes in, then at that point I think it's game over. This play here saved Pez and got him the championship. All right. Obviously there was multiple parts of the game, but this is what was the last play that ended it. Okay. There's nothing that can be done unless somehow Garchomp had Iron Head and got a flinch, which based on the fact that it didn't go for Iron Head makes me think it just didn't have it. So, oh man, oh my god. So yeah, this play here, switching to Tangela and then going into Hoopa, massive. And if that's Specs Hoopa getting the Oquan Tangela, well done. Well deserved Pez. We got Pez and Just Lucas as our two champions for this season. Guys, if you enjoyed these 2 seasons of the Ocean League, make sure to leave a like on the video. I do want to say thank you for joining us on this journey. I'm sure all the coaches just really appreciate your support on the series here. I do as well. So I do want to say again, thank you so much for supporting us. Again, leave a like on the video. Guys, it's the finals. This was the finals. There's not going to be a video up next Wednesday. For the first time in like 15 weeks-ish. There's no videos on Wednesdays, and we're going to keep it that way for a little while. Eventually, we're going to have some more videos coming up down the pipeline. They're going to be more list videos, top 10s, how to draft videos, so get excited for those. We have an editor for that, which is amazing, and we still got our draft league battles going up on the weekend. But if you guys enjoyed this series, this season of the Ocean League, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, comment your thoughts on the battles, and of course, congrats to both Pez and Just Lucas on their titles. Congrats to Casper and who else was it? It was Shiny, Casper and Shiny on their on their finals appearances. And yeah, guys, it's 11:30. This video goes up in around 12 hours. I got to start editing it, and I got to work tomorrow. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And let's try this again. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, I will see you guys next time.